On January 1st, 2023, police responded to reports of gunfire in a residential neighborhood. When they arrived on scene, police cadet Chloe Davidson was inside of her home, claiming she had just shot and killed her husband.
Hold your hands up for me. I'm gonna open the door.
I'm trying to.
All right, well, hold your hands up. I'm gonna open it up.
Okay.
Back away from the door.
Back away a little bit. The bottom doorknob is locked. Open it up.
Yep.
34, you need traffic?
Come out here.
134.
Come out here. Come out here.
Come here. Turn around.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in a minute. You're just being the Who else is in the house?
It's my husband.
Where's he at?
He's in the kitchen.
Are you there?
Can you get my dogs, please?
Yep. No firearms on you?
No.
Do you have any weapons or any firearms on you?
No.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do just for the time being, I'm going to take this off you, okay? Alright. Puppies, come on, you guys gotta back up. Alright. No weapons, no firearms, nothing on you?
No.
Okay. Alright.
The police found her husband's body lying on the kitchen floor. The murder weapon had been placed on the kitchen counter, only a few feet away. An officer attempted to speak with Chloe, but she would only tell him her husband was threatening her and she was acting in self-defense. Chloe was brought down to the police department so she could be formally interviewed.
Alright, so before we get started, I know this has already been read to you, but I'm just going to do one.
I need an attorney. Okay.
Alright.
No, sorry, honestly, I'm so drunk right now, I don't even remember what happened. Okay. I know that he said he was going to kill me, and that was about all I remember.
Okay. Let me go grab the deputy real quick, and we will get you up there to jail or back to the house, okay?
Yeah.
Or actually, I got cuffs with you. Do you want to stand up for me?
Chloe refused to speak with the police. However, her father had just arrived at the police department, and he had plenty to say about the situation.
She going to jail?
That I don't know yet. We haven't sat down and talked to her yet. Our understanding is she called and talked to you prior to, and then of course our CAD notes was there was a disturbance prior to all this happening. Didn't know if you would be willing to tell us what y'all's phone conversation was about.
I'll be glad to.
Okay.
But I can't figure, there's parts I can't figure out. It was really short.
Yeah.
She said, Dad, I need you to come over. I said, Dad, I need you to come over. Doug and I got in a fight. He started choking me. He got the gun. He got his gun. I thought he was going to kill me, and I shot him.
Okay.
I said, you what? He said, I shot Doug. So all she told me was, Doug choked me, and we got in a fight. Doug was choking me. I thought he was going to kill me. He got his gun. I thought he was going to kill me, and I shot him. Okay. Was there a struggle over the gun? I mean, I got no idea.
No, and we don't know yet either.
Yeah, I know nothing. Bad night to be going out.
Mm-hmm.
Bad night for them to be drinking. Bad night for them. Any night's bad for them to be drinking.
Have they been having issues?
Yes, they have been having issues.
Did they seem okay when they dropped off the kids, or did it seem like it's just kind of like...
Oh, they were fine.
Oh,
they were fine. They were, it's been good. They have had issues. I'll tell you of the issues. She wanted to be a deputy, a sheriff, deputy sheriff. What she wants to do is what you're doing right now. That's been her goal in life. When she was in high school, she spent more time in the school resource officer's office than anywhere. Mm-hmm. She got with Doug, and so you want to know about their recent problems. Mm-hmm. Doug, I always thought was a really good husband.
Okay.
I need a cigarette. A good couple, and they've never really had issues. Doug has always been very possessive of Chloe.
Okay.
But like I told Doug, and I've told him several times, so Chloe she despises any cheaters. She despises cheaters. The worst thing in her book is a cheater.
Okay.
And I told Doug many times, well, you don't worry about that. I'm like, listen, Doug, one thing you ain't got to worry about is Chloe cheating on you. That's one thing you ain't got to worry about. That will never happen. And Chloe has been somewhat naive and didn't have her guard up. Well, on Halloween night, this was two other things with Grace. Fantastic. Halloween night, Chloe's favorite holiday has always been Halloween. As a child, that was her favorite, more than anything. The weekend before Halloween on a Monday, Doug, he called, and he was at a party, and he had the kids, and she had to go get the kids. And anyway, she went and got them, and when she got off, this was on Saturday night, he didn't come home till 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, anyway, flash forward 2 days, Halloween night, when Chloe finally got off, she got home, and he wasn't there. He was out trick-or-treating with the kids somewhere else. And somewhere else was around the corner here somewhere, close to here. And apparently, he was with Jack's aunt. But anyway, Chloe had never suspected anything. But anyway, when he finally came home, she was pretty upset because he didn't come home until about 11 o'clock on Halloween night. Chloe did a lot of investigating, looking at bank records, phone records, and there was never, they had their issues. I mean, and I talked to her, and she was 100%, she called one day, and Doug, I was at the I was still picking up a prescription at the base hospital, and she said she was kicking Doug out, and I'm like, because I told her, through it all, there was never any proof, never admittance, never any proof, and never any real there that they had anything really going other than a lot of communication.
Okay.
As far as them actually having an affair, having sex, if you will, there's no grounds for that. There was no there, no proof, no nothing. And Chloe, she was trying to put it all to rest and just, they had their arguments. But, and Doug, Doug has a hair trigger temper. I mean, a hair trigger temper. Very, very bad temper. He's explosive. All he needs he's a can of gasoline that all you need is a match.
Okay.
Now, he's got that kind of, the type of person.
Oh, yeah.
And he is one of those personalities. Chloe's words as she left tonight, she said when she left, she said, y'all got a plan? And she goes, yeah, Uber. And I'm going to try not to go to jail. I was fearful because when them two get to drinking, and I've told them this many times, it's okay. I've told Doug this, I've told her this. When one of them is drinking, the other one can keep things calm. When they both get to drinking, that's when problems ensue. Any idea when I can come get her? Or I can, or is she going to jail?
That I don't know yet. I can give you a call afterwards and kind of update you a little bit on which way it ends up going. obviously, I'm not over there at the house. The lead detective is over there right now. That's why I got the phone call. So he's going to have a whole lot more information than I do right now.
I understand.
But I can update you.
Oh, God.
And let you know.
Kids.
Chloe was charged with first-degree murder. According to the report, the crime scene did not match Chloe's version of events, where she claimed that she acted in self-defense. There were no visible injuries on Chloe, even though she claimed that the argument between her and her husband had become physical. As of the making of this video, this case has not yet been resolved, but make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the update video. The next case involves a police officer named Leslie. Leslie was brought in for questioning after he called 911, claiming that he had accidentally shot his wife while he was cleaning his firearms. This interrogation takes place only an hour after the shooting, and the first thing the detective notices is the lack of emotion.
So, kind of, like I said, I was kind of coming into the back end of this. Tell me exactly what happened.
It was an accident. We were training.
What do you mean by that? You were training?
We were doing dry fire drills and cleaning the guns. I was so worried about her because she picked up a loaded gun. I unloaded her gun and I forgot mine had a magazine in it.
And you said you were dry firing, training with guns. What kind of guns were they?
Mine was my Daniel Defense, the rifle, or it's considered a pistol or whatever.
Okay. What time did you guys start, like, doing this training?
I don't remember what time. We were cleaning and doing that for maybe an hour. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't expect you to know.
We were sitting at the table. We just got done with dinner. We went out, had dinner, came back. We were starting to watch the football game together, and we sat down. I just ordered all of that stuff that was on the table, the new stuff for cleaning and the mat and stuff. And she wanted me to show her how to do it. So we started doing it, and it just led into this.
Okay. Was she pointing the gun at you? Were you pointing the gun at her? Like, kind of go through
just
that.
in a general direction, which I know is wrong. We should not have been doing that. She wasn't doing it properly because we were pointing the guns at each other, or in our, I wouldn't really say at each other, but in general directions, which, because we were sitting across from each other. After I got done putting it back together, she was messing with it while I was cleaning different parts of it, and we started to put it all back together. I forgot that I put the magazine back in it, and then she picked up the pistol that was loaded, and I was working because she started waving it around because she doesn't know. I don't think she's ever shot a gun before.
When you put the rifle back together, you loaded the magazine into it?
Correct. I normally keep the magazine with it. I don't keep one in the chamber, but I keep the magazine with it.
So, but when you put the magazine into it,
it wasn't loaded. Oh, well, there wasn't one in the chamber at first.
Right, because you had correct. You disassembled it.
I was gonna go put it up, but then we started doing our dry fire things.
So at some point you charged it?
Yeah.
Okay. But during that time where you guys are doing this training, this cleaning, you know, the guns are being pointed at one another.
Yeah. I know better. That should not have been happening.
I'm just gonna do some overalls, and then I'm gonna need you to do your, front and back hands things. I'll tell you as I go. But right now, we're gonna start this way.
You're going to be arrested for manslaughter. Okay.
I figured.
Leslie would take the case all the way to trial, where he would get on the stand and tell the jury what had happened. Again, Leslie displayed no emotion as he described how his wife was killed.
Are you employed right now?
I am.
What are you doing for a living?
I'm working at a fabrication shop learning how to weld.
And you used to work for the Marion County Sheriff's Office, is that right? How long did you work for the sheriff?
8 years.
And you were terminated as a result of the incident that we're here about today.
I was.
Let's talk about September 19th. At some point that late afternoon or evening, did you decide to go out to dinner?
We did. We normally get one margarita when we're there because it's a large margarita. But it was 2 for 1s that night when we walked in. So and they were taking a while. We were there over an hour. So we just started ordering the 2 for 1 margaritas, and we landed on 3 by the time we were done.
What did you do when you left the restaurant?
We drove straight home.
Now, you called 911 at 10:52 p.m.
Yes.
I'd like you to walk us through that 2.5 hour period of time from the point you got back from dinner until that call was made.
So when I came in and sat down at the dining room table, I started cleaning my rifle because I had just shot it a couple weeks prior, or within a week. I was waiting for all of my gun cleaning stuff to come in to clean that said gun. It was already all on the table. I saw it, I sat down and I started cleaning it. She started to show interest in the gun cleaning, so I started showing her parts, handing it to her, stuff like that.
When she was done with the rifle, what happened?
I put it back together and I laid it on the end of the table. Well, when I was laying down the rifle, I look up and she's holding the handgun. And obviously I knew that gun was loaded because it's the one I took to dinner. So I asked her to hand it to me, which she did, and I unloaded it and then I handed it back to her.
And you've already said other things were going on while this exercise was playing out. Was the television on?
Yeah, we were watching football.
How did the rifle end up back in your hands?
I remembered I didn't do a function test on it when I put it back together. I was allowing her to kind of do her thing with the handgun. I didn't want to overwhelm her. So I was just, and we were just sitting there talking and I was watching the football game.
Okay. And when you picked the rifle up, it had a magazine in it. Did it not?
Yes.
Because that's the way you had put it down.
Yeah.
Because when you put it down, did you intend to be done with it the first time?
I picked it up while watching the TV and I was holding it like this.
Stand up to make sure all the
I was holding it like this.
So you were kind of cradled.
Yeah.
So the magazine was down. Okay. And what was your intention? What were you going to do with it?
I was trying.
What is this function test you're talking about?
So when you disassemble a rifle and you put it back together, you have to do a function test to ensure that you put it back together correctly. If you didn't put it back together correctly, it's not going to fire the next time you need it to fire. And you're listening for the hammer to drop on the firearm to make sure you assembled it correctly.
You're kind of watching TV.
Yeah.
You said you're listening for a clip. So did you either put your head down to the rifle or bring the rifle up to your head?
Both. Like, it was, because I was listening more so for a sound than
When you pulled the trigger the first time, what happened?
what was supposed to happen. You heard a click.
And then when you charged it and pulled the trigger the second time?
That's when it went off.
After listening to the ex-cop tell the story of how he accidentally killed his wife, the prosecution, who wasn't buying his story, had a few questions for him.
But she later came over and she wanted to learn about the firearm.
She did.
And you decided to teach her about the firearm.
Yes.
And you decided to teach her about that firearm with loaded magazines and live ammunition sitting on that dining room table.
Yes.
You're very familiar with firearms, are you not?
Familiar.
In fact, one of your hobbies is you like to hunt.
Yes.
And you were a law enforcement officer, like you said, for 8 years.
Yes.
And you went under training every single year because you had to do an annual training, correct?
Yes.
And one of those things that every single year during that annual training they talk about is gun safety.
Yes.
And in fact, there's general rules of safety that you guys learn every year. Like you always treat a firearm if it's loaded.
Correct.
And you never point it towards another person.
Correct.
And that you should not handle firearms, especially when drinking or intoxicated.
Yes.
And that you only point a firearm as something that you intend to kill or destroy.
That's correct.
The prosecution argued that despite a decade of gun training, Leslie handled his firearms without any concern for human life. Due to his negligence, his wife was shot and killed, which means at the very least, he should be convicted of manslaughter.
I'm not saying that the only part of this that was a culpable negligent act was the part where the gun actually went off. No, members of the jury, the fact of the moment that he had Paulina Wright sit across the table with him with live real firearms with the capability of shooting a bullet, that was when it began. Culpably negligent is having firearms that you know have the ability to kill somebody and having somebody sit across from you and point them in their general direction. Mr. Taddy keeps saying there's no evidence, there's no proof that he was pointing out. Members of the jury, I don't think that anybody else could have walked a straighter line of the trajectory of that bullet, of how it left his gun, went through the front of her skull, went out the back of her skull, and you heard the medical examiner. Wasn't left to right, wasn't up to down, it was dead straight through her head. That's not randomly holding a gun in her general direction. That's not looking down a sight, pointing at your target during training exercises like he initially said. But here we are a year later, and it's, well, now I was just resetting the trigger and making sure it was doing a functioning test. That's the first time I've heard those words ever come out of Dale Boylu's mouth. Exhibit 6, Officer LeBay's body-wear camera. Right when they had gotten out of the house and gotten over at the truck, what did you see happen? We were pointing them at each other, and mine went off. But now today, oh, no. It was this whole different situation. It was a misunderstanding. Holding it up to your head, you don't see a magazine hanging down right here. You don't notice that. You're not trained. When you're training to make sure guns aren't live, the guns are safe, the guns aren't going to shoot anybody, you don't notice the magazine sticking out 6 inches, 5 inches from your face. It absolutely matters that shortly before he decided to take that gun and start cleaning it, handling it with somebody who's untrained, he was trained. His decision-making, his thought process wasn't then inhibited or inebriated by any way, shape, or form, because now he's apparently telling you, no, I was stone cold sober and could think clearly and straight. And yet, thinking clearly and straight, with all the training experience and with the knowledge I have, I still thought that it was a good idea to point guns at each other. What does make sense is when you take his initial statement, when he's the most excited, when he hasn't had time to actually think about the potential consequences, and is more focused on actually getting aid for Paulina Wright, and says what actually happened of we were pointing guns at each other and mine went off. But when something is that avoidable by all of those steps that the defendant decided to take and not stop at, is what makes it culpably negligent. And when it's culpably negligent, it's manslaughter.
The jury was allowed to leave the courtroom until they reached a verdict.
Okay. Mr. Boileau, will you please stand for the reading of the verdict? Madam Clerk.
Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as the defendant in this case. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter.
Leslie was found guilty of manslaughter, and as of the making of this video, he has yet to be sentenced. What do you think a fair sentence would be? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.